I remember sitting with a couple in my office, both feeling so unseen and unheard in their relationship. They loved each other fiercely, but somewhere along the way, they disappeared into us. They were so busy being a couple, parents, and successful in their careers that they lost track of themselves. We need space in our relationships to thrive. It's about holding on to who you are while embracing the US with someone you love. In this video, we're diving deep into balancing individuality and togetherness. The strongest relationships are built by two whole people choosing each other day after day. Personal space isn't just about having your own side of the closet or a man cave in the basement. It's about having the freedom to explore who you are. It's about having the space to be curious about your own thoughts, to uncover passions that light you up, to pursue hobbies that bring you joy, and to connect with friends who feed your soul. Remember, you were a whole person before this relationship, and you're still that whole person within the relationship. Your experiences, your values, your dreams, those are yours to own and nurture. Don't shrink yourself to fit into the mold of partner or spouse. Show up authentically as you are. Remember, you deserve a relationship where you can be your most authentic self, where your passions are celebrated, and where your individuality is honored. When we invest in our own growth, we bring a more vibrant, interesting, and engaged version of ourselves to the relationship. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather have a partner who's curious about life, who's learning and evolving, than someone who's stagnant and stuck? When both partners prioritize personal growth, it creates a dynamic where you inspire and challenge each other to be the best versions of yourselves. So, encourage each other's passions, celebrate each other's wins, and be each other's biggest cheerleaders on this journey of growth and self-discovery. Remember, a relationship thrives when both partners are committed to becoming the best versions of themselves. It's easy to fall into the trap of dependency in relationships, especially when we're afraid of being alone, or we've bought into the fairy tale that our partner should complete us. But the truth is, depending on someone else for our happiness is a recipe for resentment. When we place the sole burden of our emotional well-being on our partner's shoulders, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. They feel suffocated, and we feel let down when they can't possibly meet our every need. Cultivate your own happiness, because the more self-sufficient and emotionally secure you are, the healthier and more sustainable your relationship will be. Remember what it was like when you first met. You were both excited to share your passions with each other, right? Maybe you loved to cook and they were an avid hiker. Don't let those passions fade into the background of your lives together. Encourage each other to pursue those interests, even if it means giving each other space to do so. It's not about spending every waking moment together. It's about supporting each other's growth and happiness. And when you do have the opportunity to share those passions with each other, go for it. Teach each other, learn from each other, and let those shared experiences deepen your connection. Think about the friends you had before this relationship entered your life. The ones who've seen you at your best and your worst. The ones who know how to make you laugh until your sides hurt. The ones who remind you who you are at your core. Those friendships are precious and important to maintain. It's not about replacing your partner. It's about recognizing that different people fulfill different needs in our lives. Friends offer a different perspective, a different kind of support, and a different kind of connection. So make time for those friendships. Your relationship will be stronger and healthier for it. Communication is the bedrock of any healthy relationship, and it's especially crucial when you're trying to balance individuality and togetherness. It's about expressing your needs, your desires, your fears, and your expectations without judgment or fear of retribution. And just as important as it is to express yourself, it's equally important to listen, really listen to your partner. Seek to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it. It's about speaking your truth with kindness and compassion and being open to hearing your partner's truth as well. In the busyness of life, it's easy to let quality time slip away. Work, kids, errands, it all seems to get in the way. But here's the thing. Relationships need to be nurtured. They need dedicated time and attention to thrive. So schedule in that couple time, just like you would any other important appointment. It could be as simple as cooking dinner together, taking a walk after dinner, or just cuddling up on the couch and talking. The important thing is that you're present with each other, that you're connecting, and that you're making each other a priority. Boundaries are essential in any relationship, but they're especially important when you're navigating the space between individuality and togetherness. Boundaries are about respecting each other's limits, needs, and values. It's about saying no without guilt and accepting your partner's no without taking it personally. Remember, boundaries aren't about building walls or creating distance. They're about creating a safe and respectful space for both partners to show up authentically. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and it's easy to fall into patterns of resentment when one person feels like they're carrying more than their fair share of the load. Whether it's household chores, childcare, or financial responsibilities, an imbalance can lead to frustration and conflict. The key is to have open and honest conversations about expectations and to divide responsibilities in a way that feels fair and equitable to both partners. The point is, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. The important thing is to find a system that works for you as a couple and to be willing to adjust and adapt as needed. When you feel fulfilled as an individual, when you're pursuing your passions, nurturing your friendships, and taking care of your own well-being, it spills over into all areas of your life, including your relationship. You bring a sense of joy, contentment, and wholeness to the table. When both partners prioritize their own well-being, it creates a virtuous cycle of happiness and satisfaction. Do the things that light you up, spend time with people who make you feel good, and create a life that feels authentic and meaningful to you. Your relationship will thank you for it. Giving each other space and independence can actually increase attraction and desire in a relationship. When you're not always together, you have the opportunity to miss each other and appreciate each other's unique qualities. Remember the early days of your relationship, when even the smallest touch sent shivers down your spine. Recapture that spark by allowing for a little bit of space and mystery. Pursue your hobbies and give each other the freedom to breathe. You might be surprised at how much it reignites the passion in your relationship. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship. But when you have a strong sense of self and a deep respect for your partner's individuality, you're better equipped to navigate those disagreements with empathy and understanding. When you approach conflict from a place of I rather than you, it's easier to communicate your needs without resorting to blame, criticism, or defensiveness. It's about expressing your feelings and perspectives while also being open to hearing your partner's side of the story. Remember, the goal isn't to win the argument, it's to find a resolution that works for both of you. When you're overly dependent on your partner for your emotional well-being, it's like building your house on shaky ground. But when you cultivate your own sense of self-worth, when you have a strong support system outside of your relationship, and when you prioritize your own happiness, you create a solid foundation for emotional stability. It's not about being cold or detached. It's about recognizing that you are responsible for your own emotional well-being. Your partner can be a source of comfort and support, but they shouldn't be your only source. Remember, the more emotionally stable you are as individuals, the stronger and more resilient your relationship will be. It's natural to fear growing apart in a relationship, especially as you evolve and change over time. But here's the thing, growth is inevitable. The key is to embrace that growth, both individually and as a couple. Instead of fearing the changes, view them as opportunities for deeper connection. Share your passions, your challenges, your fears, and your dreams with each other. What matters is that you're both committed to growing together, to supporting each other's evolution, and to nurturing the love that brought you together in the first place. Jealousy and insecurity can rear their ugly heads in any relationship, but they can be particularly challenging when you're trying to balance individuality and togetherness. When one partner has a rich life outside of the relationship, with friends, hobbies, and passions, It can trigger feelings of inadequacy or fear in the other partner. The key is to address those feelings with honesty and vulnerability. Talk to your partner about your insecurities, your fears, and your triggers. And most importantly, work on building your own sense of self-worth. Remember, your partner's independence doesn't diminish your worth or value. Remember that couple we talked about earlier, the one who had lost themselves in the US? They rediscovered their passions and carved out time for joy. They showed up, bravely and vulnerably, committed to finding themselves and each other again. Navigating individuality and togetherness is a dance. It's about honoring needs, celebrating differences, and cherishing the spark. How do you find balance in your relationships? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's learn and grow together.